Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks, and I saw this squiggle on somebody's artwork yesterday on Facebook, and I thought, how would you draw that? So I thought I'd show you how I would draw it, and I've already drawn it. So let's back up here a little bit. And the hardest part is going to be this part. So I just made a perfect square, holding down the control button. I'm going to rotate it 45 degrees so I get that angle. I'm going to go to arrange, I'm going to convert it to a curve. Let's zoom in here a little bit. Tell you what, let's get it kind of near that. Let's zoom in. Okay, we've converted to a curve. We need to add more nodes. So I'm going to select those nodes and I'm going to put add. Now these nodes aren't going to give us any trouble, but I'm going to go ahead and delete them. Don't need them. And I'm going to take these, I'm going to take these nodes right here, holding down the control button. I'm going to stretch them to about there. Now I'm going to select the whole thing, right click your mouse and convert them to a curve. Now I'm going to delete that one to see what happens. Almost pretty good. And now we need to think about, we only need to do half of it. So I'm going to select that node right there and right click, and I'm going to break it apart. And then I'm going to take this back up here and let's zoom in a little bit. So I'm going to grab that node right there and move it out of the way and then just delete these nodes. I don't need them right now. Now, and like I said, you need to kind of mimic this. So we've already converted these to a curve. So let's just kind of start curving these around. And I'm not going to take a lot of time, just so you get the idea. Let's zoom in here a little bit. And actually, I'm going to try to delete that. Nope, that didn't work. So just take this other handle. You're just kind of mimicking that curve of that first one. And that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to select it. I'm going to hit P and put it in the center of the page. Of course, I'm going to have to move this stuff out of the way. Let's zoom in here. Let's bring in an indexing line and hit P and put it in the center of the page. Now you can see my first node is not in the center, so I need to make it in the center. That looks pretty good. Now we need to delete these bottom parts below the indexing line. So I'm just going to sweep through them and they're gone. Control D and make a duplicate and then mirror it the other direction. Now let's back up here. I'm going to put my origin there. And I'm going to mirror it and see what it did. It made it a perfect shape. Now I'm going to take my shape tool and I'm going to shift click, and I'm going to join the curves. And there's a docker you go through. So now everything is joined, so it's all one piece now, as you can see. Now we just need to make it a bigger, thicker line. So I'm going to go with 1 inch. Now let's go a little more. Oh, 1 inch. That's too much. And you got to remember the scale you're drawing in. We're going to make it black, and we're going to press OK. It doesn't quite look like it, but what we can do, let's make it bigger, so we can make the line a little bigger. And we're going to scale with object this time. Now it's got a sharp point. So what I should have done before I cut it in half, let's put it back to, let's group it together for a second, Control G, hit P, put it in the center of the page, and let's just delete this bottom line, because I really need to make this line more of a curve. Now that it's thicker, you can see it's not very good. and we're going to kind of make it a curve. Now what we can do is go to arrange and convert the object to the outline to an object, and we get a lot more nodes. So we can delete that node, maybe delete that node. We're going to make a sharp point. Let's delete these nodes. That's not too bad. For the video, that might be good enough. Remember, you can move both nodes. And you could work on that quite a bit and spend a little more time. But for the video, that's good enough. Control D and make a duplicate and then mirror it. And then we need to put these two nodes together. So I'm just going to grab the pick tool, grab that corner and put it at that corner. That looks pretty good. Let's group that together. Control G. It didn't do it. Go to Arrange, Group, Control G. Now let's mirror it. Control D and make a duplicate. And in this time, I'm just going to flip it with the control button. Start moving and hold down the control button and kind of get it to about where that picture is. That looks pretty good. It's a little more squished together, but what I like about this, you could Control G and group it together and then just kind of squish it. Make it look more like the original. Now we need to just take a straight line. So let's get our 2-point line. Make a line, hit P, put it in the center of the page. Go down here to our line width. Let's make it 1. Let's make it black. Now we need to group all this, Control G, and put it in the center of the page. Now I was thinking the hardest part, these rectangles or squares are kind of shaped funny. So what we need to do is use the polygon tool, have it just for 4 sides, hold down the control button, and what's so neat about the polygon tool, you could grab these, right click, convert them to a curve, and just bring this in, just ever so slightly. And what it did all of them. I don't really like that, so I'm going to grab that handle. Tell you what, I'm going to delete that center node, and see it's doing the same to all 4 sides. Now I'm actually going to take this and I'm going to elongate a little bit. I'm going to smart fill that. And I'm just going to use the smart fill. I'm not going to use the outline. Let's get it down here and then zoom in. It's a little bit big, so we can reduce it. And then I'm going to put it right on that line, and it actually clicks on the edge. Control D, make a duplicate. And you could figure this out mathematically, but eyeball good enough. And you could still Control G and do anything you want to with it. You know, you could, let's squish it up a little bit more. I like it like it was. But that's pretty much that same drawing. I would change this curvature a little more, you know, make it a little bit more better. But you can't really do it now because you'd have to do that from the start. Anyway, that's how I would draw that squiggle. I'll tell you what, I'm missing one thing. There's a line in the middle that's not there in the original. Just delete it. And my line's a little thicker than this one, but it's still a pretty nice looking squiggle. Anyway, I hope that helped a little bit. Thank you for watching.